Hello and welcome to Jimbowalks 5. Today we are doing a stealth camp locally, not far from my house. It's going to be quite an adventure. We only completed one other stealth camp in Jimbowalks 2. That was at San Miguel, and it was an area where I was certainly less likely to be discovered. I think there was a lesser risk certainly there. But where we're stealth camping today is right next to a very large supermarket. It's a German budget, very well known, popular supermarket that you can probably guess which one it is. And we are going to be hopefully camping secretly very, very close to it in a small area of trees and bushes and kind of overgrowth. Yeah, I'm gonna see how that goes. Just a very quick recap of the Jimbowalks adventures so far. We had the camping at Ruta del Porche near Monachil. That was Jimbowalks number 1. Number 2 was a stealth camping video. That was at San Miguel el Alto, or San Miguel Alto, sorry. Jimbowalks 3 was a river walk along the Rio Genil, where we visited Cenes de la Vega and Pinos Genil, and also the center of Granada along the river. Beautiful trip over 3 different days. And Jimbowalks number 4 was, if I can remember, yes, it was a city walk, a walk around historic Granada, the center of the city, and then through Albaicin, overlooking Granada city, and finally a camping trip in La Subia, which is a small town very close to the center of Granada. So that's a quick recap of Jimbowalks 1, 2, 3 and 4. Today we are embarking on chapter 5, Jimbowalks 5, stealth camp in Zaidín in Granada. So before we start today's stealth camp, we need to carry out a reconnaissance mission. I want to do some preliminary scoping out and kind of survey the situation, where I could possibly return to later for the stealth camp. Where I'll be hopefully hiding out for the night is an area with very high foot traffic, very close to a very busy road. So I just really want to come back later just as it's getting dark, sneak straight into a spot and disappear. So I'm going to do a little scope now to suss out the situation and work out what the best plan of action is for later. This is the back of the supermarket. The entrance is just down to the right hand side there. There's a pathway that leads to the front of the supermarket and the car park. And we're going to sleep either behind the supermarket, somewhere along this pathway, or in front of the supermarket to an area I'll show you in just a moment. So option number 1 is to find a spot on either side of this pathway. Now, I passed through here a few weeks ago and it was a lot of overgrowth on either side of the path, and there were tons of options for hiding away, where even if somebody was to pass just a couple of meters from you, I'm not sure they'd see you. However, the local council, the Ayuntamiento, have very helpfully come and cut down a lot of the overgrowth. So there are far fewer options than there were previously. One of those options though is down here, behind this large bush, these rose bushes. People are not going to pass through there, and there is a lot of overgrown grass and plants just on the other side of those bushes. I can see though that somebody else may have beaten me to it, because a cardboard box has been laid out. The most clear and present danger is that there is a street light on this side of the rose bushes and a street light on this side of the path. So either side of the potential spot is lit. It's going to be heavily lit up. The lights come on at dusk. So I'm not sure this is an option. This may be like a plan B. Moving further down the path, again on the sides, it's all just been cut all the way down to the soil. It's not even grass, in fact. Like, they've really gone, maybe they only do this a couple of times a year, so they've really cut down to the soil, and there's no coverage at all here. There's no option for hiding out at all, which I suppose may have been the intention. Perhaps there was an issue at one time with people camping out here. So the more I think about it, I'm really not sure that this is an option at all along here, which is a shame. We'll just have to see. You know, I wonder if there's an option in here behind this big tree here. Obviously it's not somewhere you would ever choose to camp, but for the purposes of a stealth camp, I wonder if it could be an option. I mean, what I don't like to see here is that there are beer bottles and cans, plastic bags, things like that, which just shows that perhaps other people come here late at night. Let's continue. Okay, so almost certainly stealth camping along this pathway is not the option that it once was. I think I'm going to have to abandon that, disregard it as an option completely. It's unfortunate. Okay, so just while I'm building up the courage to jump into the spot. As you'll no doubt know by now, in every chapter of the JimbowalkS story, I suppose, I tried to take a moment of gratitude to say thank you to those people that have been influential, inspirational, supportive in my own life, and somebody within the world of YouTube that has given me some encouragement and motivation to start this channel and to keep going when it can be a slow start, that's for sure. So I'd like to first dedicate my moment of gratitude to somebody in my own life. Actually, it's two people. They're two friends of mine that live in Barcelona, here in Spain. And I lived in Barcelona for, I'm not sure, about a year, possibly more. About 3-4 years ago now, I worked there for a software company in a sales position, business development, and I met two wonderful friends who are Marcus and Josh. Marcus is from the UK, from England, and Joshua is from Ireland. The reason why I'd like to my gratitude to these guys is that they were really supportive and invaluable, really, at what was quite a difficult time for me. Things weren't really working out in different parts of my life, and both Joshua and Marcus were really instrumental in keeping me on track. So thank you to Marcus and Josh, and also just for being awesome friends. They're both really fantastic people, very generous, very kind, and yeah, I really am very fortunate to have these friends in my life. There are some friendships that even if you don't speak all that often, you just know that it's still there, and it's still important, and it will be picked up again, and I can't wait to catch up with them both soon. In the world of YouTube, today I'm going to pick Grace from Grace's Adventures. So for anyone that doesn't know or isn't already subscribed or following Grace's Adventures, she is a young woman who does solo hiking, solo camping, solo adventures in the UK and also elsewhere now, I believe. So she's climbed Ben Nevis and a number of the most challenging different landscapes in the UK, and she's really quite an inspirational, strong, headstrong, physically strong. I think with Grace, what really appeals to me is that, like, she has certain qualities that if my daughter were to grow up to be the kind of person that Grace is, then I'd be extremely proud of her. She's very brave. She's not intimidated by a challenge. She's also very modest, so sometimes things don't work out, but she always remains humble and has an incredible ability to remain motivated and keep pushing forward. She's achieved a number of really impressive, like, physical feats. Yeah, she's just awesome. If you're not already, go follow Grace's adventures, and yeah, you won't be disappointed. She's really an excellent example of what the outdoors YouTube world should be about.